key Windows 10 defense is worthless, and bug dates back to Windows 8. System-wide ASLR is not as random as it's supposed to be, locating programs to the same address every time. Microsoft has been telling users to upgrade to Windows 10 because of its superior inbuilt defenses against attacks compared with Windows 7. That advice would be true if it properly implemented the defense known as Address Space Layout Randomization, ASLR. ASLR is used by Android, Windows, Linux, iOS and macOS to prevent attacks that rely on code executing at predictable memory locations by loading programs at random addresses. It's been used by Microsoft since Windows Vista to counter memory-based attacks. However, Microsoft introduced an error in Windows 8 when implementing a feature known as Force ASLR or System-Wide Mandatory ASLR. This feature is meant to randomize executables, even if an application hasn't enabled support for ASLR. It can be switched on through Microsoft's Enhanced Mitigation Experience Toolkit, EMIT. As of the Windows 10 Fall Creators Update, EMIT became part of Windows Defender Exploit Guard, WDEG. But as Will Dorman of Carnegie Mellon University's CertCC discovered, enabling system-wide ASLR in Windows 8 and newer only does half the job it's meant to, resulting in programs being relocated but to the same address every time. Starting with Windows 8.0, system-wide mandatory ASLR, enabled via EMIT, has zero entropy, essentially making it worthless. Windows Defender Exploit Guard for Windows 10 is in the same boat, Dorman wrote on Twitter. Dorman made the discovery while researching the recently discovered vulnerability stemming from Microsoft Equation Editor, or EQNEDT32.x, which was compiled 17 years ago, long before ASLR was supported on Windows. In theory, an admin could force ASLR on EQNEDT32.x by enabling system-wide ASLR in EMIT or WDEG. Not only is the feature worthless in Windows 10, but Windows 7 with EMIT actually does a better job of enforcing ASLR than Windows 10, according to Dorman. Actually, with Windows 7 and EMIT system-wide ASLR, the loaded address for EQNEDT32.x is different on every reboot. But with Windows 10 with either EMIT or WDEG, the base for EQNEDT32.x is 0x10,000 every time. Conclusion: Win10 cannot enforce ASLR as well as Win7, he wrote. Windows 8 and newer systems that have system-wide ASLR enabled via EMIT or Windows Defender Exploit Guard will have non-dynamic base applications relocated to a predictable location, thus voiding any benefit of mandatory ASLR. This can make exploitation of some classes of vulnerabilities easier, wrote Dorman in a CertCC advisory. Dorman notes there is no solution to this problem, but has offered a workaround in the advisory that admins can follow. .NET has contacted Microsoft for its comments and will update this story if it receives a response. Windows 10 defense is open to 17-year-old Office bug, but Microsoft's just fixed it. Researchers find an obsolete Office tool that's vulnerable and lacks any of Microsoft's exploit mitigation tech. Windows 10 networking and security tips. Edbot's extensive collection of Windows 10 tips, organized by category. This page includes the most popular tips for networking.